made to feel uncomfortable because you're a woman in any workplace, you deserve to have a voice that says this was wrong. Okay, I support that all day fucking long. No woman should have to be like. No woman should.
I have to do this in order to
get that. You know what I mean? Because if guys don't have to go through the same bullshit, women shouldn't either. That's it. You know what I mean? That's fair, and I fucking totally support that. You guys both know I have a 6-year-old daughter. I'm not idiotic enough to imagine or to be unable to imagine what it would be like for my daughter, in 10 or 12 years, where she's dealing with the same sort of shit. You know what I mean? Where the only way she can advance is because somebody told her, have sex with me.
Yeah.
I would light a city on fire over that. You know what I mean? I would burn a city down over that. So I completely support the whole idea of the Me Too movement. My problem is with the hypocrisy. You know what I mean? The hypocrisy where just a few years ago, before this was a big deal, these same people who tend to side on the left, who tend to be liberals, were willing to make excuses for people like Roman Polanski, but are now willing to crucify Harvey Weinstein. They have to fucking be asked, why is that okay?
One of the things that I've noticed, and this is my personal opinion, is back in the day, Whoopi Goldberg was very quiet. She did her thing. She, you would see her out in the galas and all that stuff. Now that she's on The View...
Okay, hold on one second. I'm gonna stop you right there. Because we are going to have a segment to talk about the whole Roseanna Barr.
Oh, it has nothing to do with her. But
no. What I'm trying to say is there's this whole interconnection, if you will, between ABC, Roseanne, and The View.
I want to talk about it. It has nothing to do with that. That's not what I'm talking about.
I kind of get where Bernie's going here because, to your point, I think social media is the difference between.
But it's not necessarily. It's just the fact that now that she feels like she has this soapbox to stand on and just blurt shit out all over the place.
Well, we all have a soapbox to stand on.
But she's very political about it and stands behind like some of the strangest shit.
Here's the deal. So Whoopi Goldberg, I suspect, was always that way. Okay, but the difference is she didn't have the soapbox, the social media soapbox. Back when she was doing Ghost, okay, the Twitter didn't exist, Facebook didn't exist.
When she was doing Sister Act,
Instagram, none of those social media platforms existed.
Everybody loved her. Now everybody's like,
well, now she's become very vitriolic, and people, whether you agree with her.
But the thing is it's not just Whoopi Goldberg.
I love her as an actress. I don't like her.
How do you think I feel? I love Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg was a major character.
Me too. She was fucking Guinan on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
She was a major character in one of my favorite shows. How can you do that? You know what I mean?
I hate the thought that Guinan is such a ultra liberal lemming. You know what I mean? See, my whole thing is I usually politically fall in the middle. You know what I mean? I would like to consider myself an independent because I don't want to ascribe to these super fringe notions, you know what I mean? Because half the time when you really break them down, you realize most of them are bullshit, you know? So
I'm not for the government. I'm
not for the government. You're not against the people. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can be in the middle there. You know what I mean?
And having a small business kind of puts me in that middle thing because I see what it does to the middle class and I see what it does to the. Yeah. But I don't want to be that. Oh, you've got to give me all your money, but...
And see, here's the thing. Here's the persona, if you will. Because most people, okay, I'm going to say this, that people who have businesses will tend to turn more of the Republican side because we have the business, and there's the tax breaks for the businesses.
Taxes are the one that usually sends
exactly.
Most
you know what I mean?
And
it's more for the businesses, and the Republicans are for that. But there's certain things that they do that just really took me off the wrong way.
Right, so. And that's why really.
Sometimes he does things in an independent way, where he'll look at certain things before making a judgment before he speaks. Like, for example, there was a certain nomination that was going on for insurance at the time, and he was saying, And he was pretty basically
Craig's
saying,
gotta
listen, why do you think we need insurance in government, and why shouldn't government be involved in this? And you know, the Obamacare is really important to the people because everybody should have insurance and everything. One of the things that the response on the other side was that everyone should have access to insurance. Bernie Sanders said everyone has access to insurance. It's the same thing. I have access to a car dealership to go get a Ferrari, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I can afford the Ferrari.
Exactly.
So he pretty basically put things in perspective. So there's a lot of people out there that tend to put things in perspective, but doesn't necessarily mean that it's real or tangible for this things.
Like with the Obamacare. Yes, everybody was mandated to take an insurance and pay whatever the fees were and stuff. And if you didn't, you got hit at the end of the year with a penalty. Mm-hmm. Majority of the people were taking the penalty because it was less than what you were paying for the insurance. Right. If you're gonna make people take insurance, it needs to be affordable.
Right.
And I'm sorry, but just looking into insurance for a small business is so
it has to be astronomical.
Expensive.
Right.
That we can't do it.
Right.
We can't. It's impossible.
Yeah, it's bad. Like you said, it's more affordable to pay the penalty.
It's more.
But you know they designed it that way. That's why, like on the surface, it looked great. You know what I mean? On the surface, you could package this thing to the masses and say this is great. This is great. But small business owners like you guys were like, okay, well, you're getting fucked because you're having to pay something that you didn't have to pay last year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to pay money that you didn't have to pay last year. But you also had this get out of jail free card. Well, not free, but you had this get out of jail card where you could not have to do this but still pay a penalty. And that was one of those things. It wasn't like there was no spotlight on that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Either it's good or it's not good. And
the amount that we would have paid for insurance.
Right.
For the business was almost what we made for the year.
Oh my God. What?
Like it was ridiculous. There was no way. It was no way.
Right. Wow. Yep. Affordable care.
Yeah.
Affordable care.
Canada's doing something right because everybody in Canada has insurance and they don't have to pay for it.
Oh.
Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know.
Well, what you do? Well, okay. Well, what you don't know is that fucking Canadians are coming here for medical treatment because the medical treatment up there sucks. I mean, look it up. And you know what I mean?
And
here's our neighbor has dual citizenship between Canada and here. They go up probably once a month for a couple days.
Sure.
He gets all of his meds there.
Yeah.
He had.
Well, if you're getting meds, that's one thing.
He had LASIK surgery up there.
If you have to have a procedure, it's different though. So LASIK, he got LASIK for like really cheap money.
Yeah,
that's surprising.
He but his surgery, like he had knee surgery and stuff. He had it all down here.
Right.
But he's like, I would rather have gone to Canada for it.
Right.
Because it's way more affordable up there.
Well.
And
like just an MRI down here was astronomical for him, and he's got insurance.
It's undeniable that the cost of medical care in the U.S. is fucking ridiculous.
It is.
But the problem is that there's a lot of ways to start nipping at that whale to get costs down. One of the ones that they tried and they talked about for a long time was called tort reform, which is where basically you can take medical plans cross state. Okay, so if you live in New Hampshire, you only have X amount of options available to you as far as providers go. Okay, They wanted to make it so that that you could choose from a giant pool of available medical providers. Now it's simple economics. Okay, when you increase when you increase the availability, okay, when the demand is high and you increase the availability, costs go down. Okay, so if you're somebody who says, okay, well, I want medical insurance, and right now I only have 3 options available to me, those 3 fuckers have you by the balls.
Yep.
Okay, but if you say, okay, I'm someone who wants medical insurance, but I've got 30 or 300 options available to me, the costs are going to start equalizing. You know what I mean? And you can start picking plans that apply directly to you, almost like cable packages.
Almost,
So, like a la carte cable, which is something that we could talk about later. But
well, look at my mother. You know, my mother has insurance. She's not 65 yet, so she can't get on Medicaid or whatever, Medicare or whatever the hell it is. So she has to pay for her insurance.
Right.
Well, why is she paying to have a baby?
Right.
She ain't never going to have another baby.
Right, exactly. Yep.
But she's got to pay for that as part of her plan.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
because it's bundled. It's all bundled.
It's bundled.
Again, just like cable.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Again, so the way that the two are, the way that the similarities between medical insurance and cable are striking. You know what I mean?
All right, I know we talked about many different things
27 minutes already.
You know, and we got so much more to talk about. So when we come back, we're going to talk about Roseanna Barr, ABC itself. We're going to talk about The View, the double standards on that portion of the next segment. And our phone number, once again, 603-217-5400. Again, that phone number is 603-217-5400. More stuff coming up here on Common Sense New Hampshire.
Bud Light presents Real American Heroes.
Real American heroes.
Today we salute you, Mr. Major League Infield Raker.
Mr. Major League Infield Raker.
Your precision movements and split-second timing keep America's infield safe for play and covered with cool, swirly designs. Millions watch as you weave your standard issue rake inches from the bag, then skillfully switch to the more advanced woven metal thing on a chain.
Woven metal thing.
Yeah, it has a name, but we wouldn't understand. Why? Because we're not Mr. Major League Infield Raker. So crack open an ice-cold Bud Light, oh Duke of Dirt. Because for every kid who wants to be a Major League Slugger, there's another who wants to be a guy with a rake.
Infield Raker.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes two. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
And don't forget, Common Sense New Hampshire.
Philip Palker from Precision Delivery.
Hey, Phil, wait 1 second here. Hold on 1 second. I'm not ready for you yet. I was going to say, and don't forget that Common Sense New Hampshire is brought to you by PDS. I wish Mike was here to say this, but again, Common Sense New Hampshire is brought to you by PDS, Precision Delivery Solutions. All right, Phil, I have you now. Go for it.
This is Philip Palker from Precision Delivery Solutions. I'm the president and owner of the corporation. We are a truckload carrier regionally based in the Northeast, currently looking for qualified CDL drivers with top pay and benefits for this area. We urge you to give us a call at 1-800-639-3095, extension 1020. That is 1-800-639-3095, extension 1020. We look forward to hearing from you folks. We are the future of transportation.
And our host sponsor today, we're actually doing the show live.